Good morning, students. So, in this module, I am going to start with the new chapter of Flamingo Deep Water, chapter number 3rd. So, this is the pick of the writer William Douglas. This story is an autobiography. Yes, William Douglas has written about his own life, about his own experiences in this chapter. So, before starting, let's read about the author. William Douglas was born in 1898 and he died in 1980. He was born in Maine, Minnesota. After graduating with a Bachelor's of Arts in English and Economics, he spent 2 years teaching high school in Yakima. However, he got tired of this and decided to pursue a legal career. He met Franklin D. Roosevelt at Yale and became an advisor and friend to the president. Douglas was a leading advocate of individual rights. He retired in 1975 with a term lasting 36 years and remains the longest serving justice in the history of the court. The following excerpt or this chapter, Deep Water, is taken from Of Man and Mountains by William O. Douglas. Means this is only a part of the book of the novel named Of Man and Mountains. It reveals how, as a young boy, William Douglas nearly drowned in a swimming pool. In this essay, he talks about his fear of water and thereafter how he finally overcame it. Okay, so the main theme of this chapter is where there is a will, there is a way. So in this chapter, he had just described his own experience that when he was a young boy, at that time he just drowned in a swimming pool, and afterwards he had aversion to water. He was scared of water, and what he did to overcome with this fear. So before starting, I'll just like to tell you the complete summary of the chapter. Douglas was about 4 years old. He visited a beach with his father. They stood in the surf. A powerful wave swept him and knocked him down. He was terrified. He had avoided water since then. When Douglas was about 11 years old, he had a desire to learn swimming. The Yakima River was treacherous, means dangerous. Many people had drowned in it. His mother advised him never to try to swim in it. But the YMCA pool was safe. It was only 2 to 3 feet deep at its shallow end. The other end was about 9 feet deep and the drop was gradual. Douglas decided to learn swimming there. He brought a pair of water wings and went to the pool. He paddled with water wings. He imitated others. One day, he was sitting all alone on the edge of the pool. A well-built young man came there. He looked at skinny Douglas and out of mirth picked him up and tossed him into the deepest part of the pool. Douglas hit the water surface in a sitting position and began to sink to the bottom slowly. Douglas was terrified, but he could think of a plan to save himself. He decided to spring from the bottom of the pool as soon as his toes touched it. He hoped he would pop like a cork to the surface. Then he would lie flat and paddle to the edge of the pool. As soon as his toes touched the tiled floor of the pool, Douglas bounced with all his strength. But he did not rise quickly. He came up slowly. He opened his eyes. He could see only water. He grew panicky. He was he was suffo- he was feeling very sophisticated. He tried to shout, but there was no sound. Finally, his eyes and nose came out of the water. He beat his arms. He tried to raise his legs, but they hung like dead weights. He felt something was pulling him downward again. Once again, he slipped downwards. He had spent all his energy. His lungs ached and his head throbbed. He was getting dizzy. But fortunately, he could remember his strategy. Once again, he sprang from the bottom of the pool. He was paralyzed, stiff, and rigid. But when he jumped, he could see only water around him. Then, suddenly, he reached the surface. His eyes and nose came out of water. But he began to go down once again. Once again, he began to drift downwards. He could make no effort. He was relaxed. There was no fear. There was no panic. It was all quiet and peaceful. He felt as if he was floating in space. He was conscious. When Douglas regained his consciousness, he realized that he had been saved. He was lying on his stomach. He was vomiting. He heard voices. Someone said he had already died. The young man who had thrown him into the pool said that he had done it out of fun. After some time, Douglas went home. He was weak and trembling. The dreadful experience haunted him again and again. A few years later, he went to the waters of Cascades. He wished to wade into them. The terror seized him again. His legs were paralyzed. Whenever and wherever he went fishing, canoeing, bathing, and swimming, he was seized with fear. The joy of living was lost. Finally, Douglas decided to get an instructor to help him overcome his fear of water. The instructor helped him bit by bit, piece by piece. First, he put a belt around Douglas and attached the belt with a rope. He held the end of the rope as they moved up and down the pool. He made Douglas put his face under water and exhale. He held Douglas on the side of the pool and made him kick with legs. He was with Douglas for about 6 months. When he felt that Douglas was able to swim alone, he left. Though Douglas was able to swim the length of the pool up and down, he was not sure that the old fear had left him completely. He, however, was prepared to overcome it if it reappeared. Then he went to Lake Wentworth in New Hampshire. He dived off a dock at Triggs Island. He swam 2 miles across the lake to Stamp Act Island. He used all the strokes he knew. Only once did the terror return, but Douglas was able to overcome it at once. He still wanted to test himself, so Douglas went to Warm Lake. There, he swam across the other shore and back. Terror did not reappear. Douglas gave out a cry of victory. His terror of water and his conquest of it gave him an insight into the meaning of life and death. He had experienced the fear of death as well as the sensation of dying. He felt there is a peace in death, so he lived more intensely. He enjoyed life. So, this is the summary of the chapter Deep Water, children. So, hope I hope that you will read the chapter. Then, in the next module, I will explain you word by word. Okay, thank you.